How are you involved in equity, inclusion, and anti-racism efforts at Metro State?
Aloha awinala, evi kolikili ikinaloa ko'u inoa, pehea oi mai ka'iau. Hello, my name is Victor Cole. In the School of Urban Ed, the values of equity and inclusion and diversity and anti-racism show up from beginning to end. I think the faculty in the School of Urban Ed are very open to discussing the decolonization of content and the decolonization of syllabi and grading, and they're very open to it. My whole job is about student success. What resources can we tap into to support their success? Because, you know, we think about the whole student, not just the one in class, but the whole person, like outside of class too. My job is specifically recruiting and retaining and supporting teachers of color and American Indian teachers.
I am an assistant professor of nursing in the nursing department, and we, over the last year and a half, have really been focusing on how we can really hone in on anti-racism. And so we have an anti-racism committee. And last year I led the efforts in revising our mission statement. That our mission statement really is focusing in on anti-racism, inclusion, equity, and liberation. This year, the Anti-Racism Committee is focusing on developing a toolkit. And this, ideally, this toolkit would be able to be used by faculty when they're developing their courses to ensure that all assignments and just overall that we are having an anti-racist pedagogy. This work takes a lot of intention and dedication. It is not work that you can just fill in. You really have to want to be a part of it, and you have to want to see different results.
One of the ways that I've been involved is by being part of MSUSA, the student government, where we take on projects such as the Student Garden, where we grow food that is safe, nutritious, and culturally appropriate for a student body.
So in collaborations with our talent acquisition team in human resource development, we are actually taking initiatives in revamping our hiring processes. So my role in human resources, I have been involved in the planning event teams that really ties into the equity inclusion visions at the university, and looking at what events that really needed here.
I think as a supervisor, part of it's modeling, being curious, asking the questions, being vulnerable to say, I don't actually have all the answers. I want to learn from you, help me. And then being able to be different because of those interactions, right? It's not to try to get other people to fit into what we've been doing, but to actually expand our ways of doing so that everyone has a space and they get to be who they are.
Sometimes you can be a very passive event where you get to listen and learn and observe. Or you can be very active, like the most recent MLK. They get up and sing in community like that. What an opportunity.
How do we make sure that we create an environment that anyone who walks through the door, anyone that we interact with out in the community feels a warm and authentic connection to who we are at Metro, what we can maybe partner with, help them to advance their degrees, help them to reach their goals, and to do that in a way that's just really in that kind of personal connection relationship space. So, and then I think the other piece is just to take advantage of all the cool opportunities we have, the passport training, the leadership development. We have an incredible student body, we have an incredible faculty, we have an incredible staff. So take advantage of the different ways in which they're sharing their information, their experiences.
For faculty who are just kind of wondering, like, how can I get involved? Looking within your department to see, do you have committee work that is focusing on anti-racism, that's focusing on an inclusive environment for students. And then, just dive in, really looking at the data and disaggregating it and seeing what students are doing well and what students are not doing well. Really promoted us as a faculty to put together this toolkit that we're still working on.
So the work we provide, what each of the coordinators does is We do programming, we do direct student support to encourage and support our students along their journey at Metro State. We really want each student to feel welcome and feel at home at Metro. So if there's any kind of specific need a student has or any kind of challenge, our coordinators are able to either help the students or refer them to services that are within Metro. With that, they feel like welcome and they feel a sense of belonging. They feel more comfortable talking to the coordinators about their needs or challenges.
I am also part of the Bias Advisory Group, where we make sure that we mitigate and address bias around campus.
So primarily, I'm working with students and providing accommodations for students who have disabilities of all different kinds. But I also get to work with faculty and other employees in that way. And then serving on our Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Anti-Racism Council also helps me in that work because I get another opportunity to work with that broad array of individuals. One of the things I love about Metro, both as an alum and as an employee, are that there are so many folks around the entire university that embrace that idea of inclusion and do so by being champions for accessibility. So it doesn't just land in my office space.
I graduated from MCTC Minneapolis College, and I'm a transfer student over here in the social work program, faculty and staff, and including the people in the collegiate recovery program. Has been really helpful, especially me being a person in long-term recovery. And it's just it's fun interacting with professors and just staff here, and it's like I'm getting the best experience as far as the whole college experience. I happen to be a resource broker. So what I do is, me being a person who experienced homelessness and addiction, I try to reach out to students here at Metro and put the word out.
I'm inspired and I'm encouraged by the work that members of our community are doing day to day, no matter their role at Metro State. We heard from students, we heard from staff, we heard from faculty how equity, inclusion, and anti-racism shows up in their day-to-day practices. Those values are who we are at Metro State, and we have an opportunity to not only continue that work, but also to lean on existing efforts to continue to build the climate, the culture, the place we want to build for our students, but also for our employees. So I encourage all of you to not only get involved, but also learn from what others are doing.